MC. Yeah. Oh yeah. It's that boom bap. Boom bap.
Here on the steps. My brother, please join us. Good morning. Good morning. My name is Councilmember Andy King and I represent the 12th District in the Northeast section of the Bronx. Today we are here as elected officials, community residents, parents, activists, and just outraged New Yorkers in the state and where hip-hop music has taken our young people and the New York community and all of the United States. First, I want to thank, as everyone knows, I always give praise to the Most High, but most importantly, giving us good weather to have this conversation. Amen. But for all of us waking up to talk about our issues when it comes to hip-hop music. I'd like to thank my colleagues who are here from the City Council, Councilmember Rayner, Councilmember Williams, Councilmember Chen, Councilmember Palmer, Councilmember Arroyo, and everyone else who is here this afternoon, and you'll hear from them to share their words today. We are here today because of where hip-hop has transitioned to. There were times that we had an opportunity to enjoy hip-hop, which was originated in the Bronx, and I don't get it confused. All right, before the bow ties, I enjoyed a little bit of Public Enemy. You know, I appreciate it well. Lord Eric B. and Rakim, you know, and the Kangol Kid. You know, we kept it real, and it gave us inspiration to get out, love, dance, and do the right thing while we got educated in the process. Somewhere along the line, big money kicked into our communities and figured out how do we take this music that was designed for communities of color and flip it to a way that self-hatred has been instilled, sexism has been instilled, and just all the negative connotations that can come with bad behavior is part of this music industry today. So I want to thank everybody here, but we want to send a real message not only to the Rick Rosses of the world, because today's conference is not just about Rick Ross. And I'm going to read about his last song that just came out, which promotes date rape. And as we know, rape is not something to be played with, and it should be punishable by crime, or punishable by law. And he states, put a Molly in it. Put a Molly in her champagne, you don't even know it. Took her home, and I enjoyed that. She didn't even know it. Bragged about drugging a woman and taking her home and taking her virtue away from her. That is foul, is disrespectful. As young brothers who listen to this music consistently, to our youth who listen to this music consistently, what messages are these artists giving to our children? Not only to our children, but to the young adults who listen to it, who may have the mindset to turn these lyrics into a reality. I'm going to call a few of our speakers here today to say a few words, and we're going to move on. Our first speaker I'd like to bring up is Councilmember Diane Rayner.
Thank you, Councilmember King. This is an incredible moment to be able to stand with Councilmember King as our newest colleague. As chair of the Small Business Committee, and more importantly as a woman, I cannot stand by silently as artists use their platforms to denigrate and promote violence against women. Any artist that promotes guns and violence against any group does not deserve airtime on radio or on television. As major crimes has dropped in the city of New York, sexual assault has increased in 2013. It is a disgrace that artists like Rick Ross are using their platforms to promote violence against women. Any form of art that encourages rape is harming our youth, our communities, and our city. The difference in the quality and message of our music, specifically hip-hop, from my generation to contemporary times is unmistakable. Songs like Fight the Power, by Public Enemy helped inspire social change and empowerment. Unfortunately, now it seems that hip-hop solely glorifies gang violence, drug use, and the objectification of women. There's a thin line between artistic talent and inappropriate lyrics. Music should be a tool of uplift and empower communities, not about Molly, guns, and rape. This is a call of action to record labels, producers, radio hosts, and concert venues to boycott music by Rick Ross and artists with similar messages. Thank you, Councilmember Andy King, and to the rest of my colleagues and everyone here.
Thank you, Councilman Morena. I'd like to call up Sadia Brown, who and another one of our young people who brought this lyric to us and informed us that they were totally outraged, and anytime the community brings something that they're outraged about, we as an elected official have a responsibility to reply and respond. Saida, please.
To Councilman King, it's an absolute pleasure, and to all of the New York City Council members. Hip-hop started in New York City, so as a member of the hip-hop community, someone who was raised in New York City, thank you for putting this as a priority to call the press and to call your colleagues out to acknowledge the impact that it's having on our community. To the members of the press, as a pastor who is of the hip-hop generation, I find it very disturbing that the artists today seemingly work to destroy everything their predecessors and ancestors have sought to build. Aside from the degradation of women, we are living in a time of degradation of the spirit. Responsible parents, such as my husband and I, work daily, not just to provide the basics for our two sons, but to keep their mind on that which is right. Our deliberate and concerted effort is consistently undermined by the lifestyle marketing approach from the music industry and other youth-focused brands. April is Sexual Assault Awareness Month, and now is the time, and this is the place to demand a formal apology from not only Rick Ross, but of Reebok and others who feel it is okay to marginalize women and make light of sexual assault. I work daily to build the self-esteem of not just women, but young women. Women who, unless provided with a viable alternative, are going to accept rap lyrics as their roadmap into adulthood. 1 in 5 women and 1 in 71 men have been raped in their lifetime. That's 18 million women in this country who've been raped. More than 1 million rapes occur every year. The vast majority of these assaults occur when victims are under the age of 25, and many who are under the age of 18 are at the greatest risk. The exact audience that rap lyrics court. This cannot continue. I just want to mention my dear friend B.D.P, who is another woman in hip-hop, was date raped when she was 14 years old. So I stand here not only for myself, my husband, and my family, but for also B.D.P, who was raped and could not be here with us today. Thank you so much for listening, and thank you so much for coming out today.
How you guys doing? This is Kangol Kid from the legendary rap group U.T.F.O, and I am here on the steps of City Hall in New York City, and here to address something that's a little out of control right now, the responsibilities of artists. Artists do not understand that they are role models, and a lot of them, it's not their fault, because I got into this business when I was 17 years old, and I didn't know that I was a role model either until years went on, and I realized that I was influencing people, but at the time I didn't acknowledge that. And so we're just here calling cats out and letting them know you need to acknowledge that you are a role model. There are people looking up to you that want to be like you, and they're going to follow what you say, because who knows, you don't know if they have a broken home or not, and you're now representing what they look at as a parent. So just be responsible is what I'm here for, man. So check us out and see what we do. Good morning. Good morning. My name is Sean Fakir. I am professionally known as Kangol Kid from the mid-'80s pioneering rap U.T.F.O. The purpose of gathering today is to voice our opinion, express our disapproval on the growing trend of tasteless lyrics in various songs. In keeping this agenda, I offer to share with you my experience as a hip-hop artist, very much like Mr. Ross, but more importantly as a parent. I stand before you today as a hip-hop pioneer, a hip-hop pop who has fathered 3 sons, and as a man who's learned to respect hip-hop moms of today and the hip-hop moms of tomorrow. I entered the music business as a teenager with the music, but I had to learn the business. The business did not teach me how to become a parent. The business did not teach me how to become a man. And it certainly did not teach me how to be socially conscious and the importance of respecting the integrity and safety of women. As a rap artist, the business taught me how to make money with my words. And I became very good at it. I became so good that in the 90s, when my last record company asked me to record a raunchy, disrespectful recording to women, I accepted because I was taught that was good business. I am happy to say that song and that album was on a non-successful project, but I did succeed in learning how this business operates. The record company will lure the radio stations. The radio stations will lure the listeners. The listeners will lure the promoters. The promoters will lure the sponsors, and this well-oiled machine continues unchallenged. I allowed the business to purchase my talents, but my maturity was not for sale. The important lesson for me was understanding how powerful my words are, and that it is my responsibility to transcend proper positive messages as opposed to what may be interpreted as fueling ignorance. I am a father of 3. I have a son who listens and a son who does not. I am a parent who birthed this culture called hip-hop, and I have artist children who will listen and artist children who may not. But I love all my children the same. It takes a village to raise a child, and I ask that the record companies, the radio stations, the promoters, corporate sponsors to do responsibly, to do their job so that we can successfully do our job and raise our children.
I'm going to ask right now if Councilmember Tish James will say a few words, please.
The crime of rape should not be viewed as a commodity. Rape is rape, and it promotes violence. Unfortunately, these rap artists give a bad name to the industry because there are a number of artists that I know of who speak and who preach about responsibility and about social justice. These individuals obviously are only interested in $1. They're slaves to $1. And they have prostituted themselves to corporations. And so I'm urging Reebok to drop this artist as a sponsor and to urge all New Yorkers and all Americans to boycott Reebok until they drop this artist. We have got to stop making it financially beneficial in our attempts to promote the violent crime of rape, which is about power. I don't know about you, but as someone who still involves herself in the criminal justice system, I have a countless number of young girls who come to my office, who I see on the street and who I meet at schools. Girls who have problems with self-image blame themselves whenever they find themselves in difficult situations. And what we need to do is encourage more young ladies who have been victimized by others, particularly when it comes to the crime of rape, to come forward and to stand up and to let them know that anyone who violates them, it is inappropriate, and that no still means no, no matter what the setting is. And as someone who represents communities of color, where these vicious, vile rap music is targeted towards, you should know your history. You should know from whence you came. You should know that there are individuals who came before you who talked about the struggles of our community and who talked about more conscious efforts and who talked about all of the issues that we are suffering from in our communities and what you should be doing as opposed to promoting the violent crime of rape, which has more to do with power than anything else. You should be ashamed of yourself because you were born of a mother, and because you have individuals in your family who are women, and you have disgraced all of us. And I urge every major corporation to drop them, and to drop them now. Rape is still rape, and no is still no.
For those of you who do not know, one of the main issues of setting this press conference today, and as I say, we're targeting not just Rick Ross, but the whole industry for where it has evolved or digressed, you pick one, but letting people know this Friday, just this Friday, Rick Ross will be coming to New York to perform that same song that he's been making billions and billions of dollars off. So we're urging everyone, save your money, keep your money in your pocket till we get an official, a real official apology. And I offer to you, Brother Ross, no love lost. If you really want to apologize, any money that you've made, donate it to victims who have been sexually abused. If you really want to say give an apology, pull that record from the label. Just pull it, kill the record. You're still going to make your money on your other endeavors. But be responsible if you really want to apologize and not tweet an apology. So right now, I wanted to give it to the young people right now who are actually digesting all this information and giving us the feedback of what they think they should be listening to. So right now, we'd like to call on Brian Melford, Public Relations Officer of the Bronx Empowerment Program.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Brian Melford, and I'm from the Bronx, where hip-hop started. A lot of young people today, they're getting a wrong message from the music we listen to. And I'm not gonna lie and say I don't listen to some of these songs, but it comes to a point when you hear something wrong, you stop and say, what am I really listening to? You actually listen to the individual lyrics and say, what am I listening to? What would my mother think if she heard me listen to a song like this? What would my grandmother think if I played this song in the car while I was driving her to church? A lot of the times, young people just listen to the beat. They think it's cool, all the other kids are listening to it, and they miss the message. At the end of the day, the message is what people hear when they read those lyrics. You don't hear the beat when you sit there and read the paper. All you see is the individual lines, the words they decided to use. And a lot of the times they'll say, well, it's what sells. Well, we have to stop that. We have to say education sells, success sells, women in power, women getting the education, women doing the right thing sells, men pulling up their pants sells, men avoiding prison sells. A lot of the times young men such as myself get the bad rap. Well, look at him, he has his pants sagging. You don't know where he might be going, but the music you listen to tells you otherwise. Everybody knows what the songs will say, but the individual person is who they make themselves to be. So we have to stand up as young, positive individuals in our communities all across the city to say enough is enough. We're tired of music like this being pushed into our communities and played on every iPod, on the train. People of different communities, cultures listening to it and saying, wow, this is what they talk about. Maybe this is what I think about them when I see them now. And at the end of the day, we can think, well, it's not their fault. It's our fault. We're the ones putting out the songs. The guys that stand up there with the baggy jeans and the microphones look just like me. At the end of the day, they affect people just like me. My friends, they get a bad rap. We might walk in a group. You don't know what we might be going to. We might go in to support a candidate. We might be going to a town hall meeting. But at the end of the day, we have to be the ones to stand up and decide enough is enough and we're not going to tolerate it. Thank you.
Another young person I like to bring up, we're all young, I don't want to get it wrong. But a younger person who has taken this cause to heart and is a real young activist, and I appreciate all that she's done, and I had the privilege of knowing her since she's been about 10 years old, and she's been strong in the struggle of community activism. I like to bring up spoken word artist Nene Ali.
Thank you to City Council Member Mr. Andy King and the rest of the City Council that came here today to support this issue. For those who may not know, Rick Ross put a song out on how to date rape a female. What's wrong about it is that as a 15-year-old, it affects me. And this is what's being played on the radio and in TV. And it doesn't only mess up our reputation as young women, but it also messes up the well-minded men's reputation in general. there's a lot of things that we could do to combat this problem, but we're not doing it. And then I want to say thank you to everybody who came out, because it's showing that we're taking a step as a people to come and combat this problem. And it's just a bad cause that hip-hop wasn't intended to be this way, because back in the day, the lyrics was about uplifting our people. But now we have negative lyrics that are bringing us down. On Wednesday, next Wednesday, there's an event going against Rick Ross and other rap artists' lyrics that's out here today. And it's free of charge, because information shouldn't be chargeable. It should be free. Right. Knowledge is free. Right. So I want to say thank you to everybody who came out here today. And I won't stop going against different artists and the lyrics that they're putting out there until the FCC and these artists take stand and do their job. Thank you.
I appreciate you talking about back in the day. She's 16 talking about back in the day.
This is Hakeem Green, Channel Live and Direct, B.D.P all day. Shout out to Bap TV. We here supporting Nene Ali, the spoken word poet. Young sister holding it down for the knowledge element, that real hip-hop. Hip-hop is about when you recognize something is whack, you go approach it. And that's what she's doing with this whole Rick Ross date rape lyric that was whack. So she felt she had to approach it. So you gotta respect that on the hip-hop level. That's what hip-hop is about. And that's what I represent. Rap minus lies equal hip-hop. When you see lies, you gotta go check it. Yeah, and that's what we doing. Rick Ross, check yourself. Out.
Okay, I say one or two things. Well, you know, I'm here because, you know, it's not cool to diss all the women. But, you know, I did see the video with Rick Ross apologizing. Yeah, maybe the kid might have been a little twisted or drunk or something when he did the lyrics. He's wrong for doing that. But as a hip-hop culture, we all need to just come together and help each other out. You know what I mean? Because he was wrong for saying what he said when it comes to women. You know what I mean? Because I'm from an era we didn't do that. You know what I mean? All our records were positive. You know, I broke Public Enemy, Joeski Love, the Diss Masters, Cool Chip, and on U.T.F.O, the fucking 4+1. You know, all that. You know, we was all about having a good time and partying. It wasn't about, you know, dissing women. So, I mean, you know, maybe he needs to come do an apology and fix the situation, because they really throwing him under the bus right now. You know what I mean? So I'm not here to diss the cat. You know, I do like some of his music, but when it comes to women, you know, you got to check yourself.
I'm sorry. I want to give this lady a round of applause. Yeah. I'm here to support her. Every artist has the freedom to say whatever it is they want to say. Corporations have a responsibility to the people. We have a department within our government called the FCC, and at some point they started to lower the rules and relax the rules a little bit. We want to make sure that they do their job and that they're held accountable. Every artistry is free. It should be given freely. It's not about a dollar. When corporations are spending millions of dollars to promote particular messages, they have to be held accountable. And that's what we're talking about. My name is Hakeem Green, H-A-K-I-M-G-R-E-E-N, like the color. Hip-hop is how we live, rap is something we do.
You know, playing devil's advocate, they also have talked about killing cops through rap songs. How come that's not an issue?
Artists have the right to say whatever it is they want to say, but corporations have a responsibility to be accountable to the people.
Corporations' bottom line is they want to make money.
The government, the FCC, has a responsibility to serve the people. Corporations don't have that responsibility. The FCC does, and we have to hold our government officials accountable to their job to serve the community, period, point blank. But artists, true artists have the right and the responsibility to speak the truth, no matter what that is. And we never want to take that right away from people, to have the ability to freely express themselves. Corporations have a responsibility.
We need the media to help our communities by showing positive images. We need our television stations to show how we should be as a people. We should show the strength of all New Yorkers. And with that all being said, I want to give you the climax of this conversation today by bringing to you what happens when you fill a young brain with the right information. So we're going to close this press conference with Nene Ali giving a piece tonight, this afternoon.
few spoken word artists who practice what she preach. My name is Nene Ali, and even when I was 10, I was quick to pick up a pen and scribe a poem from beginning to end. People ask me questions like, how are you able to write the things that you see? I tell them, I'm the thoughts that my pen bleeds. Some say, Nene Ali, when you grow up, do you know what you want to be? I say, yup. When I grow up, I want to be American gangster. You know, like the con you see on B.E.T. But forget pushing drugs. I'm going to push my spoken word poetry. I'm going to go from ghetto to ghetto in every single city hood, pushing my spoken word product until I can get everyone hooked. Through my determination, I'm off to the suburbs, so I can get these privileged kids addicted to my words. I have city officials saying that my words are priceless. I tell them it's because I am the spoken word daughter of ISIS. I'm not going to stop pushing my spoken word until the whole world is down with me, so we could take the power from the world leaders and set the masses free. I might even smuggle some my spoken word inside penitentiaries. The biggest crime in America is not being able to read and think free. So when you see me, tell me, what do you see? A kid or a smaller reflection of you? If adults really knew how much kids are people too, then maybe they would stop acting a fool. Everything we learn it from you. Because behavior is taught and man is our groom. We look, listen, and mimic everything that you do. So stop scratching your head and asking what's wrong with our youth. The question you should be asking is what's wrong with you. Thank you. I also want to give out the website for the concert on Wednesday. It's sheainthavingit.com. And if you guys would like to come out, it's free of charge. Thank you.
Thank you again, everyone. That concludes our conversation. We appreciate it. And again, thank you for Councilmember Drum's office, who's here. Thank you. If there are any questions, we'll take them at this time.
MC. Yeah. Oh yeah. It's that boom bap. MC hip hop. Oh yeah. It's that boom bap. Street hop bap. Street hop. Boom bap TV. It's that boom bap. MC hip hop. Yeah. It's that boom bap. MC hip hop rap. Yeah. Spit it acapella all tracks. It's that boom bap. MC hip hop rap. Spit it acapella all track. It's that boom bap. It's that boom bap. It's that boom bap.